Berachos Daf Ches. Today must be one of the highlights of my Daf Yomi career. I was saying over the Gemara Tanya, Amr Shmuel ben Elisha, when suddenly one guy started singing the famous Avram Fried song, and then the entire group, 60, 70 guys together. It was an unbelievable feeling. If you want to be part of a Geshmak Chevra, a fun, entertaining shir, check us out on YouTube under R Eli Stefansky. Understand why there are close to 2,000 subscribers. The halacha is, if a person has an oinus, he's sick, and he can't make it to shul, and he can't gather 10 people to his home, it's preferable that he should daven at the same time that they're davening in shul. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't turn down the tefillah of the tzibur of the rabbin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, whoever learns Torah, does gemilas chasadim, and davens with a minyan, it's as if they redeem me and my children from within the nations. Rish Lakish says, if there's a shul in a city and he doesn't go in, he's considered a bad neighbor, and he because of him, he creates galus for him and for his children. Rabbi Yochanan was under the impression that there are no extremely old people in Bavel, because it says in the pasuk L'man yirbu yameichem, that's referring to Eretz Yisrael. When he found that there were old people, he said it must be because they come to shul early in the morning and they leave shul late at night, and that gives arichas yamim. Rav Chizda says one should not sit right by the door to the entrance of the shul because it looks as if he wants to run away from shul. Rather, he should give himself 2 doors distance into the shul. The Gemara brings 4 pshatim for this pasuk. Al zois yispal kol chassid eilecha. Every chassid, pious person, should daven for this le'eis mitzvah. Right before he needs this thing, and he'll get it if he davens for it. What is this thing? The first pshat is, Rav Chanina says, it's referring to looking for a wife. As it says in the pasuk, matzah isha, matzah toiv, the matzah matches matzah in the pasuk. In fact, in Eretz Yisrael, they would ask, matzah or moitzeh? Did you, after you married, now that you find out, the woman you married, is she a matzah, matzah isha, matzah toiv, is it a good woman, or umoitzani marmi maves as a isha? Rav Nassan says it's referring to Torah. You should ask for Torah and you'll receive it. Rabbi Yochanan says you should ask for kvura, for burial. Rabbi Nachman bar Yitzchak says it's talking about death. You should ask for a good death, a pleasant death. In fact, Gemara says there are 903 types of death. The worst one is askara. The best one is misas neshika, like taking a hair out of milk. Askara is like taking thorns out of wool. It's very difficult. So you should ask for a good misa. Mar Zutra says it's referring to a bathroom. You should find a good bathroom. And the Gemara says, in fact, Mar Zutra seems to be the best out of all of them. Says Rav Chizda. It says in the pasuk, Oyav Hashem Shari Tzion Mikol Mishkenos Yaakov. What does Hashem love the most? He loves Oyav Hashem Sha'arim HaMitzuyonim BaHalacha. He likes the places that they come to the bottom of the halacha more than shuls and bati medrash. The halacha is one should daven where he learns. When Abaye heard this halacha, he changed his ways. He used to learn at home and go daven in shul, but then he changed it to where he would daven and learn in the same place. Rabbi and Ravasi, they had 13 shuls in Tveria, yet they chose to daven by the pillars of where they used to learn. It says, "Miyom shechar beis hamikdash, ein lo la'akadosh baruch hu elo dalet amis shel halacha belvad." From the time the Churban Abayis, HaKadosh Baruch Hu only has 4 amis of halacha. So in other words, that's why Abai also, he decided to daven in the same place that he learned halacha. That's where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. Gemara says, somebody who has Yiras Shamayim and earns a living is greater than somebody that earns that just has Yiras Shamayim without earning a living. Because it says in the pasuk, Yagia kapecha kisoichel ashrecha v'toivlach. We learn ashrecha b'olam hazeh v'toivlach l'olam haba, whereas just Yiras Shamayim only has olam haba, not olam hazeh. There's a halacha that one should live right next to his Rebbe if he's subordinate to his Rebbe, if he accepts everything his Rebbe says. Otherwise, it's not good to live next to your Rebbe. We see that Shlomo HaMelech didn't marry the daughter of Paroi as long as his Rebbe, Shimon Megaria, was alive and he lived next to him. It says in the pasuk, V'oizvei yichalu, there's a halacha that if the Sefer Torah is open in shul, you're not allowed to leave the shul. Rabbi Avo would leave the shul between Garva to Garva, between aliyahs. Rabbi Papa asks, what about between psukim? If there's a pause, can you sneak out? And he remains with the teiku. Reb Shimon says, I turn my back to the Sefer Torah and I learn, they're doing what they want to do and I'm doing my thing. The halacha of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum brings Arichas Yamim. You should say 2 psukim and 1 targum. What if there's no targum on the pasuk? Like Ateres V'Dibar. Ateres V'Dibar. Says Rashi, in that case, the Gemara says you should still say it, meaning you should say the pasuk 3 times, once instead of the targum. One should not wait until Yom Kippur to say the entire Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, because Erev Yom Kippur is the day that we eat. It's as if you're fasting, and do not say Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum earlier than the week that you need to say it on. Yeshua ben Levi told his children, first of all, when you shecht a bird, be careful that you shecht all the vridim, the veins, make sure that all the blood comes out. Be careful with the Talmud Chacham Zaken that had Torah, even though you forgot it now because of Ainas, just like they put the broken luchais into the Aron, this person is a broken Sefer Torah. Rava told his children, do not cut meat on your hands. One shot is because it's a sakana, you might cut through, it might slip and cut your hand, or you might nick your hand, some of the blood will go into the food, and it'll disgust everybody. The halacha is, you're not allowed to sit on a mita aramis, a bed of a gaya. One shot is, it's referring to going to sleep without saying Kriya Shema L'Amita. The other shot is, Rav was telling his children, who were kohanim, do not marry a geyores because you're a kohen, it's also. And some say that it's a goya mamish. Why can't you sit on her bed? There's a story with Rav Papa. A woman told him, a goya said, sit down, and he said, let me see what's underneath the bed. And she lifted up the bed, and there was a dead baby there. She wanted to blame him for his death. Lacha is, one should not go behind a shul. It looks as if you don't believe in the shul. The Gemara says there's a number of conditions here. If a person is carrying something heavy, it's obvious that he's not trying to avoid the shul. If he's wearing tefillin, it's obvious that he's Yiras Shamayim. If he's running, it's also obvious that he's trying to get somewhere. And if the shul has another door, then people will think he's trying to go to the other door, and it's not a bazaar to the shul. Rabbi Akiva loved 3 things about the nation of Madai: that they cut their meat, they don't cut their meat on a table, and they would kiss each other only on their hands because of germs, and when they discussed private things, they would go into a field so nobody else could hear. Rabbi Gamliel says, I like 3 things that the Parsim did. They had tznius in 3 areas: when they ate, when they went to the bathroom, and when they had relations. Afal Pikein, nevertheless, the Parsim are ready to go with all the tznius. They're ready to go straight into Gehenna. The halacha is like Rabbi Gamliel in the Mishnah, that you could say Kriya Shema all the way until Amud HaShachar. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says that there's a possibility of saying Kriya Shema one after another. One will be for the night, one will be for the day. That is, if you say Kriya Shema right before Amud HaShachar and right after Amud HaShachar, the one after Amud HaShachar will count for the daytime, even though halachically right after Amud HaShachar is considered night. Since people get up then, your Yoitza, Kriya Shema Shachars, have a wonderful day.